podcast. We're your hosts, Abby
and Leighton, and we are finally back. I know we weren't around last week because
it was 1 week.
1 week, but it was chaotic. This week has been no less chaotic because Abby literally just got a flat tire on the freeway.
We're not having a good day, okay?
On the way here, I get a call, and she's like, "Wait, my tire just popped."
First off, I left my camera at work,
which
was dumb. And
even better.
So I had to go pick up my camera on my way here, okay? And I was like, it's fine, whatever. Literally on the freeway, tire pops. I'm like, fantastic. Have to go off. Random guy in the Zupa's parking lot helped me change my tire so I could make it to Big O Tires.
That's so nice.
Bonus, though, bless up. I didn't have to pay for a new tire, so that's at least good.
They just replaced it, like you had a warranty?
Yeah, because of my warranty. Yeah, so bless. Good things.
Well, that does mean you probably ruined that tire twice, kind of close together.
Yeah, no.
So,
yeah,
still
no.
not
I literally
great,
just got new tires not that long ago, like a few months ago. So, yeah, don't know what happened, but regardless, did that. Picked up the camera. Now I have a pounding headache, but we're gonna push through.
Yes, 3 ibuprofen. Hopefully, we got a swig. Yeah, hopefully that will make you feel better. Isn't caffeine supposed to help with headaches or?
I can't decide if it helps or makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I'm a firm believer that I think headaches are just kind of fake.
Hey, yo!
No. But are they fake? Actually not. But will I ever have a headache and do anything about it? No.
Okay, here's my thing though: is I feel like I'm also a big baby when it comes to headaches, like stomach aches, other sorts of pain, like. I got you. I will push through until I'm literally dying. A headache, however, I'm like the slightest inconvenience. I'm like, I'm out for the count. I'm done. I need a nap. Turn off all the lights.
See, I'm the opposite where I get a tummy ache and I'm like, nobody speak to me. Nobody look at me. I would rather have a broken arm right now than a tummy ache.
I'm dead. Okay, well, we've gotten so distracted. But today, today we are going to be talking about our March TBRs. But first we want to do what we've read since the last time. Don't ask me where I left off. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know actually either.
Actually, I think I kind of remember.
Okay, you go first. Let me see if I can pull mine up.
Hold on.
Let's see.
I have to remember. Okay, yeah, I think I talked about reading The Betrothed and the Betrayed last time, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
I think that's where I left off. I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Or I finished listening to it.
Oh, that one's my favorite movie.
That one's so good. The book is so good. I loved it. And then we have The House of My Mother, which is a nonfiction book, okay? A biography, autobiography, whatever you want to call it, by Sherry Frankie. Do you remember a few years ago, the 8 Passengers, Ruby Frankie stuff where, she got arrested for child abuse? Do you remember this?
No.
In St. George?
I don't think so.
They were just a YouTube family up in here in Utah, Mormon, Utah, YouTube family for forever, and she got super famous from her really strict things. Anyways, and then 2 years ago she got arrested for child abuse, and so anyways, her oldest daughter Sherry shares basically her whole story of growing up in that light, how awful her mom was, and just the whole story. It's crazy.
It was good?
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, really?
So good. And then we threw it back, okay? We threw it back to some good oldies.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
I have been reading The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. So I have read Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress, and I'm currently on Winter. May I just say, amazing.
You're I love it when I read a book and it stands the test of time.
Yes, really, though.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember literally anything about these books. I'm being honest. I read them in high school, and I was I remember that she's a cyborg. And that's about it.
I remember one scene in Scarlet where they passed a key or a pill or something through a kiss.
They didn't even remember that. I remembered literally 0 things about this book series, so it feels like I'm reading it again for the first time because there hasn't even been a time while I've been reading that it's even clicked in my head oh yeah, okay, I remember that. No, not a single thing. I'm I literally feel like I'm reading it for the first time, and it's so good. So good. I'm obsessed.
And I love the new covers. Usually a cover redesign is not for me because I almost always like the older covers more, unless it's a special edition or something. But I really like the cover redesigns.
I have the old ones, and I really wish I had the new ones because I think they're so pretty. Anyways, that's what I've read. I haven't been as crazy into reading. I've been busy.
Wait, now we can have a nice little role reversal again because
Did you go ham?
I did go a little crazy, and for those of you guys that have been listening and know for a while, I've been in like a terrible reading slump. Like I didn't read anything the month of I read like 1 or 2 books through the month of November and December, I think. Like literally 2 books. When on average I read probably 20 to 22 books a month.
Yeah.
So like I was broken. And then I came into the new year and decided I was going to read Brandon Sanderson. And I was getting through those, but I was reading like 2 or 3 books because each of his books are like, 1,000 plus pages, whatever. Anyways, long story short, I've caught back up a little bit. I fell back into my reading slump and I was like, crap, what am I going to do? And my cure for a reading slump is always to reread a book that I know that I like. Because I am a serial rereader. Like, any book that I rate 5 stars I will have reread it minimum 3 times.
I feel like I always have a rotation every year of like the books I know at some point this year I will reread. Yes. Like they're just my reoccurring reread books.
Yeah, so I did a reread of God of Fury, which is the 5th book in the Legacy of God series, which I've talked a lot about in this. It's nice. I've read the whole series. Now I can just go through and pick my favorite ones, and I don't have to feel guilty about skipping around.
Yeah.
Read that, loved it, literally read it in a day. Then I decided, why not tackle a beast?
Oh, no.
A beast of a series that has been trending on TikTok, I feel like, as of recent. Like, had a reemergence as of, like, 1 to 2 months ago. So I decided I was going to pick up Zodiac Academy.
Wow!
Yeah. Which, I have read Zodiac Academy before, but I read books 1 through 6, maybe like 3 years ago or something like that. And then I heard what happens at the end of 7, and I was so mad that I just boycotted the whole series, and I said, no, I'm not going to read it. But I was ready to be immersed into like a series that I could read a ton of books again. So I read Zodiac Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and now I'm partway through 8. So,
oh my gosh! And are they good?
Yes and no. Okay, if you're gonna read Zodiac Academy, you need to go in with the correct expectations. Like, it's not a Throne of Glass that like the writing is gonna be super incredible and you're just gonna be like so immersed in the series. However, it's silly. Like, it's silly and it's dumb, but it's fun.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
As well as the Twisted Sisters who write it do a really good job of writing characters that you care about.
Okay.
And so, like, I really love the characters. Even though they're not, like, the most refined characters. Die Hard, there's, like, 7 to 10, like, kind of main cast characters. Obsessed with all of them.
Okay.
Very invested in all their love stories. Very invested in what's going to happen to them. Has a great ultimate villain and has a great build up where you feel like you're progressing with every single book and it's getting worse and worse. The only thing I will say is I've been having a terrible time because books 1 through 3 are like bully romance, right?
Okay.
So you need to brace yourself for that. But I knew that because I had read them before. So I was mentally prepared for that, flew through those, whatever. Then I got to book 7 and shiz hits the fan. And I'm sorry, nothing goes right for these people. Everything that goes wrong. And when you say, wow, it literally could not get any worse, it gets worse.
Oh.
There's no reprieve from how awful their lives suck to the point where it's making me like physically ill because I feel so bad for them. So I told myself, I'm going to give myself like 20 chapters in book 8 for like something. Like one like little sliver of light to be like, yeah, it has not happened. We're on like chapter 39 or something like that. Anyway, sorry, that was a really long tangent. Yes.
Wait, do you know it? Is it called Starbound?
Oh, yes, and technically, so there's this concept called Elysian mates.
Okay.
And then if you say, they'll say like, oh, you're starbound, you're Elysian mates. And then if they say no, they're star-crossed.
Okay.
So, like,
it was called Starbound, though.
Yeah, but they use it, like, very casually when referring to what it actually is. They use the concept of Elysian mates. So I feel like you could use it.
Just to be clear, I have a book that I'm currently writing, a work in progress, that the gods of the world are the stars. And I very much want to do basically like a version of Fated Mates type thing, but I had forever wanted to call it Starbound, and then Leighton informed me that that's what they call it in Zodiac Academy, and I was like, this is tragic. But then she couldn't remember exactly, so I was confirming. Bummer. I don't know, it feels iffy. Everyone freaks out about plagiarism these days, so I feel like I'll just...
They use it as, like, a descriptor. Like, oh, you guys are starbound. Not as, like, starbound is what they're actually calling it. So it's kind of hard, but...
Fair enough. Okay, well, good to know. I'm glad that you're reading those because I've been so curious, but I don't dare read them. One, because there's so many of them, but two, because it's just too similar to my book that I don't want to, like...
And, objectively speaking, I think you would hate it.
I probably would.
Like, you're not a bully romance person.
No.
There are some elements of, like, why choose later in the books, which I know you're not a fan of as well.
Also, I've just decided that... Are they self-published books?
Well, I think originally, if I remember, the Twisted Sisters did do a publishing house for, like, a while, but now I know they self-edit all their books, so I hear mistakes all the time.
Because here's my thing, and this is what I have decided, is that I refuse to read any more romantic-y self-published books, because they just are not written in a way that I enjoy, and therefore I will not read them. I just don't like self-published romantic books. It's so great. I'm so glad people are doing it. Great for them. But when literally the entire plot is basically just smut and all that, it's just not for me. I need more.
I will say, there's zero spice in the first book.
Interesting.
Maybe a scene in the second book.
See, that's
it.
A vibe.
Maybe 2 scenes. Like, it's a pretty slow burn, but now that I'm in book 8, it's a little spicy at times.
And that's what I'm feeling. Okay, our March TBRs. I realized that because it's actually the middle of February, I realized that I have just now decided that most of the books that I wanted to read this month are now in my March TBR because I will not be getting to them this month.
I feel that. Okay, you start.
Oh, okay, we're starting big. Guys, this
has
been on my TBR literally every single month for probably the past 6 months. I will get myself to read it. It will be this month, I swear, is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson.
You do say this every month.
I do. But this was on my February TBR, but due to the fact that it's literally the middle of February, it's just not going to happen. I'm hoping that I'll at least start it. But my goal is, and my main goal for March, is I just want to so badly finish the first and hopefully second and third book in March. That would be my dream.
Yes.
I want to be committed.
Are you going to hard copy read it, or you think audio?
No, I'm going to get the Kindle. Kindle. I already have the first book on my Kindle, and then I'll probably buy the other 2. I do have the physical copies of them, but they're like the hardcovers, like they're chunky. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not reading those hardcover. I would die.
Of Mistborn.
A Mistborn.
Mistborn's not too chunky though.
Oh, but when you have it in that hardback, like a hardcover version, is thick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's pretty big, and like they're tall like hardcovers, so they're a little awkward to read. Anyways, the words are tiny. And we don't do tiny words.
I have Mistborn on my shelf because I've been telling myself I was going to read it too. And then I did the practical thing and jumped directly into Way of Kings.
Yeah, that's really
for
practical.
Brandon Sanderson, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I should probably circle back around too. And
Here's my thing is I just so badly want to be the type of reader that reads Brandon Sanderson.
Me too.
Like, I so badly want to be like, yes, I'm a fan of Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros and Brandon Sanderson. Okay, like, I feel like it just gives you another leg up in, like, the reading world, and I want it.
Well, I feel like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes people, kind of look down on, like, heavy romantic-y readers or things like that because they're like, you're only reading it for the spice. You're only, like, into the romance, whatever. So, like, in order to break that stereotype, I want to be able to read Brandon Sanderson and enjoy it and be like, I don't need romance. But then I read it and I'm like, where is the romance? Every time.
Listen, I have, as long as I can get into the story, I think it'll be fine. And I know going into it that there's not going to be a ton of romance. I know that it, like, relatively exists. And I can live with that. I can live with just, like, the tiniest little bit. But as long as I like the story, it'll be fine.
Yes.
And as long as I connect with the characters, it'll be fine. It's just, I just have to commit to reading the first, 100 pages, and then I know I'll be into it enough that it'll be fine.
Yes.
It's getting to those first 100 pages and committing to understanding the world that I have a hard time with.
Oh my gosh, yes, I remember with Way of Kings, there was, I kid you not, a 700-page learning curve where I was like, I don't understand what's going on. But I will say his world building out of this world, his storytelling out of this world. So, yes, the romance is in the background, but.
And I'm excited. He's been releasing writing episodes. So he has a writing class at BYU, and he has been releasing episodes. Yes. So I've been slowly watching them as they've been released. So I'm just excited to read his books and see the things that he talks about and apply to his books too. I just anyways, that's my first one. That was a very long tangent.
No, I love it because mine is going to be shorter because my first 2 books on my March TBR, which honestly maybe it's just the second one, is Zodiac Academy 8 and 9.
Okay.
Which are the last 2 books in the series. I'm currently reading 8. I think I'll finish 8 before the end of the month now that I think about it. But they are huge. They're I want to say 45 hours audiobooks. Zodiac Academy 8 I think was 37, 38 hours. And the last one I think is bigger. So I'm going to give myself the leeway because now we're back on par with Way of Kings size books, which I cannot escape these books.
I literally...
For the life of me.
Here's my thing, is, again, there's a part of me that can understand how Brandon Sanderson books could be so long, because you are working in the high fantasy realm, okay? There's a lot to say, and a lot of world building, and a lot going on, and your plotting is amazing. What in the world could you be writing for that long in a romantasy book?
I will say, I do enjoy these books. There is quite a bit, I feel like at times, filler content, and there's so many point of views. I don't know if you know this, but instead of just being Tori and Darcy's point of view, which are the 2 main twin sisters in the book, and then the 4 heirs' point of view, which are the 4, I'm not gonna call them love interests, but kind of love interests, whatever. They do perspectives from every single person in the book, so you'll get a one-off character from or a one-off POV from a side character, or it'll be Xavier and Geraldine and Lionel and
Is it written in first person or third person?
First person.
Wow.
Yep, and they switch it all the time.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense, because that makes them long. That's the same thing with Kingdom of Ash. It's that effect of is it really that long? No, but you have to go over the same exact scene from this 4 different point of views, and you're okay, that's 100 pages in, after that, that does add up pretty quick.
And they're on, in where I'm at now, in, 7 and 8, they're, scattered all over the place, too. So you're, jumping from location to location to location, so you don't, circle back. Similar to, this is how I felt with, the witches chapters in Air of Fire. Yeah. Where it's, you just circle back around to the witches, and you'd be no! Come on! I don't want to hear about you.
Yes. No, I agree. Okay, cool. Okay, my next one is, again, this was one of my books that were supposed to be February, and there's a chance I might get to it, but probably not, is 4 Ruined Realms.
Oh, yes.
Which is the second book in the 5 Broken Blade series. I really want to read it. It just barely came out, and it was on my anticipated reads for 2025. I just have found myself in the middle of series, and I haven't picked it up yet. I'm also nervous because I want to try and read it. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. I haven't checked, but I want to try and read it, and I listened to the first one, so I'm terrified that I'm gonna start reading it and then be wait, I actually don't know what's going on. Because I feel when I listen to books, I do understand what happens, and I feel I understood this one more than I normal, but still, I'm this is gonna be a test to see if I even actually like it when I'm actually reading it, or I know what's going on. Because right now I'm I can't even tell you the characters' names. I don't remember.
See, me with audiobooks, because audiobooks is my primary form of reading, because the majority of the time that I have to listen to books is at work when things like that, right? If I listen to something on audiobook, I'm making up the statistic, I feel there's a 25% chance I'm gonna like it more
Yeah.
than like if I read it physical.
Same.
Just
same.
because I like how the narrators know exactly how it's supposed to be read and everything's supposed to be pronounced and how to like, you know what I mean? When I'm hard copy reading it, I'm like making stuff up and I'm misunderstanding things and things like that. So it's just so nice to have somebody.
Well, and usually my biggest complaint about books is that it's taking too long. Like it's like slow, the pacing is weird or whatever. And I feel like when you're listening to a book, it almost like removes that for me for some reason. I don't know why. And so sometimes I get nervous that like when I'm listening to a book, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was such an amazing book. It was so like quick paced. It was awesome. I love the writing. And then I go and read it and I'm like, I thought what? Because this is actually slow as frick and boring. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like my gauge of like pacing and stuff is really off when I'm listening to audiobooks. But I still think it's going to be really good.
Yes.
But it's similar. It has a lot of POVs. So.
I've heard comparisons of Six of Crows to Five Broken Blades, which I love Six of Crows.
Because Six of Crows is like a heist, right?
Yes, it's like 6 different POVs of a singular heist.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how it is. Yep. I didn't know that's how Six of Crows. I still need to read Six of Crows. It's on the back burner idea. I need to
happen one of these.
I need to go through and make a list because I keep forgetting the books I need to like read like that. Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, I'm gonna do 3 in a row because once I finish Zodiac Academy 9, I'm gonna need a palate cleanser. I'm gonna need a break. I'm gonna need to steer clear of fantasy for a hot second. So I have 3 palate cleansers in mind. And the first one is gonna be Deep Dive by Ali Hazelwood because that's a new release that came out in end of February, right? No.
Literally last week.
So
beginning of February.
But I'm curious because I've been seeing a lot of discourse on it of like people either love it or like hate it. Like Ali Hazelwood's worst book yet. And since I was a certified Ali Hazelwood hater and now I love her, I feel like I have to go read it and defend my girl. But I honestly don't know where I'm going to lie on it. But all of her books for me are like really fast, like less than 24-hour reads. And so I feel like I can just like bust it out. Even if I don't love it, it'll be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. I think we should do, it's called Deep End or Deep Dive?
Deep End. I wrote Deep Dive.
Okay, I was like, you said Deep Dive, and I was like, I swear it was called Deep End. I was like, that doesn't sound right. We should do Deep End as our March, like, book club episode.
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of fun.
That would be fun. Because I've never read an Ali Hazelwood book, so it'd be interesting to, like, have your perspective, but then also my perspective as someone who's never read any of her books.
Yes, because I think I've read every book she's put out now.
We should do that. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Okay, then what were your other
Even better reason. And then the other 2 in quick succession will be The Charlie Method.
Oh, yes.
Which obviously was another release end of February, right? It comes out end of February.
No, I thought it... Hold on. Oh, wait, no. I think you're right. I think I just forgot to add it to my list.
Yeah, I think it comes out like February 20-something or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I didn't add it to my list because I wanted to believe that I would read it in the first few days that it came out. But yeah, saying it's a March TBR is probably a lot more promising for us.
It's one of my most anticipated romance reads of the year, and for me, my issue is I would just pick it up and read it, but I think if I stop Zodiac Academy now, I'm never gonna finish it.
No.
Like, I gotta see it through.
Yes.
So, Deep End and The Charlie Method, I don't really care what order I read those in, but both of them. And then the third one, if I still am, like, suffering from Zodiac Academy hangover and I need a palate cleanser, will be the art copy of Summer in the City by Alex Astor.
Oh, yeah.
That we got.
I forgot about that.
Yes, we did get an art copy, which I'm super excited about. My only thing is I don't physically read a lot of books.
Yeah.
Because usually, like I said, I read at work and then I come home and I decompress.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see if I even have the capability to physically read a book. Especially, like, sometimes I'll do Kindle and audio. But I never physically read books.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
We'll see.
I totally get it. I also feel like this is how I am, is I feel like I always just have, like, a list of, like, romance books that I'm like, when in case I have nothing to read or I don't know what to do or I need a palate cleanser, here are, like, my 5 options every month. My next one, however, is an anticipated read.
Oh, no.
And I'm so freaking excited. Is Wild Side by Elsie Silver. It comes out in March.
Okay, but like late March or early March. Wait.
I don't know, but I'm going to read it the day it comes out anyways.
Guys, don't even worry because we did an episode on our most anticipated reads not that long ago. March 4th!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Snaps all around. I will be reading it the day it comes out.
Wait.
I'm so excited.
Damage. Maybe I'm going to have to put everything, like, scoot it back a little bit and get all of those in. Crap.
I don't care what I'm in the middle of. I could be deep into Mistborn. Doesn't even matter. I will pause to read Wildside because I'm so excited for it. Every teaser, everything about it. Oh, it's so good.
Marriage of Convenience. Oh.
It's going to be so good. I'm so excited.
I also listened to the audiobook of Wild Eyes and love the audiobook of it. So I'm going to have to buy the audiobook. Oh, I'm going to be broke.
Hey, we just got new jobs, okay? We're doing just fine.
Yes, that's true. We're working girlies.
But yeah, that's my next one. And that is probably one of my most excited reads for March. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that up because I didn't even think about that. I was so focused on like catching up to my February anticipated releases that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm
okay,
so
so now I'm going to have to do Deep End, The Charlie Method, and Wildside rapid fire.
Yeah.
And then I can go back into, pain and sorrow of fantasy.
I love it. Next.
Okay. Then I'm going to do 2 in succession.
Okay.
So I obviously finished Zodiac Academy, and then I had a nice little palette cleanser breaks that are all 3 anticipated releases. Yeah. So that's great. Now I need to trudge back into the depths of fantasy.
Yes.
But I need like a gradual slope into it.
Fair.
So what I'm going to read is 2 rereads, I think. Because, like I said, serial rereader, every, 5th book that I read has to be a reread or else I don't know what's wrong with me. So the first one is the Mind F series.
Oh,
sorry. It. Yeah, I'm not going to cuss on here.
The Mind F. I thought you said something else.
The Mind Frick. That sounds so much worse. You know what I mean, though. Yeah. Mind F series by TBR Abi, which, if you didn't know, spells stabby. Her name is TBR Abi, spells stabby. That's like her pen name, whatever.
That's interesting. Good
Anyways, I've read it before, and it's like 5 novellas put together, and they're all really short. They're like 200 pages, so I guess it's kind of a long book altogether. One of the best, I don't know if you'd call it mystery thriller kind of series that I've read. I'm not a huge mystery thriller person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to refine my palette and become more into mystery thrillers, so I think this could be a good step to remind myself that there's some out there that I do like.
Yeah.
But we also get Stabby FMC, who's just like serial killer baddie, you know what I mean? So I'll do that one. And then right after that, I'm going to reread Nocticadia.
Oh, yeah. Which
has a similar dynamic because it is professor-student. And there's a professor-student dynamic in Zodiac Academy with, I guess I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it, but you're going to, if you read the first 20 pages of Zodiac Academy, you're going to figure it out.
Wow.
Anyways, love that relationship so much. So then I'm going to read those 2 because they're both kind of dark, not dark academia, but dark gothic academia, mystery thriller. Oh.
Yeah.
To be back in that mindset.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the only way to describe it.
I did. I love that. The rest of my fantasy books are kind of the same. I have 3, kind of. Because I loved the Lunar Chronicles so much, I want to read her other series that she wrote, Gilded and Cursed. It's just 2 books.
Oh, I love a good duology.
I know. I've never heard anyone talk about it, but I trust in her writing style. I said, you are amazing, and I shall read the rest of your books. Which is funny, because I really don't like Renegades, the other book series that she has, but I love the Lunar Chronicles. So I'm excited, and Gilded and Cursed is more fantasy, so I'm excited to read those. And then I would also like to read the rest of the Harry Potter series. I'm listening to them. I'm currently on the Order of the Phoenix. I think I'll finish it before the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's so good. You'd love Order of the Phoenix.
If you're online, you can't see it either, but I have a giant Order of the Phoenix movie poster in our recording room.
It's so good. And so, yeah, I'll just have the last 2 books, but those will just be, like, my dedicated audiobooks for the month, so I feel like I'll be able to finish both of them. And my last one is also an arc, and it is The Gods Time Forgot. It's Kelsey's book from TikTok. Hi, Kelsey. You probably aren't listening, but I love you. And I got her book, and so I'm hoping to read it, and I'm so excited.
Oh, wait, I'm really excited for that book, too.
Yeah. So, we're dipping our toes hard into fantasy, but...
Yes.
Those are my hopeful fantasy books, at least.
Okay. And then this is perfect timing because I have one more book, and that's going to be Dark Fae, which is the Ruthless Boys of Zodiac book 1. So, Zodiac Academy, obviously, it takes place in this world called Solaria, and there's 3 different series, I believe, within, like, the Solaria universe. So, Dark Fae is book 1 of a 5-book series, The Ruthless Boys of Zodiac. So, I'm going to see if I can get back into the Twisted Sisters Solaria universe again.
Yeah.
But honestly, the mind game that was Zodiac Academy and getting me in the correct headspace to be able to read those books has been so challenging, rewarding, but challenging that I may go to pick it up and be like, you know what? Another time, another place.
No,
that's why it's
fair.
last on the list.
No, that's fair. I have the same thing. 'Cause it's like I have my last like 2 just like filler romance books. I'm like, if I get to these, great. Which is Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood. Because you love it so much. I guess I now need to add Deep End because we'll give Deep End a go for March. And then this one is literally so random. I just saw a couple people talk about it on Book Talk, and I was like, sure. Is First Time Caller by B.K. Borson? Whatever you say her
love
last
the
name.
cover art.
Yeah, the cover art's so cute. Yeah. And it's like the first of like a new series. And so I was like, you know what? I can commit to that. It's just one book. So that's my like fluffy romance. We'll give it a go book.
Oh my gosh. Wow. We're going to have, okay, so we're both reading Deep End and The Charlie Method and Wild Side.
And Wild Side, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's a busy month. Yeah. And I should have added Summer in the City to my list too, because that's a good, fair point. I should read that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like you said, Deep End for book club, but maybe we're going to have to do like an anticipated releases review episode or something where we can put like... Do we really want to do 2 episodes, like 1 episode about Wild Side and 1 episode about Charlie Method, or do we want to combine them? I know, that's what I'm thinking. Let us know what you think. If we should combine those episodes or if we should do separate. Because I'd love to talk about all of those. And like for the rest of the next like 2 or 3 months, we have like 5 books coming out too. Yeah, we have so many. So let us know what you would want and what books you would want us to review and talk about on the podcast. But yeah, that's my TBR. I feel like it's going to be hefty, but we'll probably not follow it, but I'll try my best. Oh, I love the concept of TBRs because I consider myself like a criminally, like critically ill mood reader. Same. Like to the point where I will plan something, I kid you not, 24 hours in advance, and then I'll change my mind before that time and be like, yeah, no, totally. I'm not reading that. So... we'll have to report back at the end of the month if any of these come to fruition, because I would be actually shocked. We'll do a report at our book book club episode. We'll do a update on our TBR. All right, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys follow us and also follow us on all of our social media. It is just at LA Reads Podcast. And let us know what you guys would like to see next. And have a good week. Have a grand old time reading, and we'll see you all next week. Bye!